All right, here we go.
We've got ourselves one big bird of paradise problem.
This is the reason why my lower back hurts all the time.
I started growing this little beauty back in 2019 until she quickly exploded in size over the course of a year and a half.
It has gotten so big that it is nearly falling out of its pot.
Eventually, I had to slice and dice her into 3 separate plants using division.
You literally have to take that plant out of the pot and then take a giant knife and cut it up and carve its root system.
Since then, each plant has grown even larger and bowing dangerously close to my other tropical treasures.
I didn't want it to knock over or hit into any other plants.
Now we've got to solve that problem.
Who's ready to get stressed out? I am! Right now. Alright, so this is one of my massive bird of paradise, which belongs to the Strelitziae family of plants. Comprises of 3 different genus, which has 7 species, including the bird of paradise here. So this plant has become a problem because, as you can see, it is so massive that it's kind of like bowing all over the place, which was a concern because I didn't want it to knock over or hit into any other plants. So what we're going to do is we are going to apply another pole here to hold it into place. Hopefully hold it into place, because I have put poles in this thing before, and the thing is that this plant just is so strong that it just pulls the poles, say that a million times over, out of place. So what we're going to do is attach this one in here. So I have had this bird of paradise for, gosh, I think 4.5, 5 years now. And this is one of 3 plants that I had of just one single plant. And what I mean by that is that I divided it up into 3 separate plants. It started off as this little small 8 to 10 inch plant that grew so massively over time that I decided to propagate it, but not propagate it the way that you normally would with a plant. Instead, what I ended up doing was dividing it, because that's how you create more bird of paradise. Now, division can be very stressful, as was the case with this bird of paradise. I separated and divided up into 3 separate plants. Now, in order to do that, what you have to do is basically take the plant out of its pot, take a giant knife, and slice its root system and divide it into 3 separate plants, pot it up, and then wait till it takes root and grows. And let me tell you, it is a very stressful situation if you have never done it before. This was my first time doing it. And what happens when you pot them up is that the plant each one of them seems like it's dying for the first month and a half, 2 months. And then all of a sudden, it just starts exploding with new growth. All 3 of the plants that I had separated and divided up, one belongs to a friend, and the 2 are here with me at my home in Denver, Colorado. And one of them's in my bedroom. This one, though, is out here in my living room, and all of them exploded with size and are just doing incredibly well, but a little bit too well, because inside, bird of paradise, when kept indoors under the right conditions, can grow up to be 6 feet tall. That being said, the conditions I have in my place, this thing has grown to over 10 feet tall. So, yeah. We need to make some more adjustments in order to make sure that it continues to thrive, because I don't have the room or the space to create or have more of these plants. So while they can grow to be about 6 feet tall indoors under the right conditions, out in nature, they grow up to be about 30 feet tall. They're massive in nature. And I have seen one that is 30 feet to 50 feet tall at the Denver Botanic Gardens. They have this massive, beautiful one, and it is stunning. And so I don't want mine to get that tall. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to prop this baby up, like I was saying, with this pole, And what I'm doing is just gently tying around some twine here. And I'm going to make sure this is a good knot. And then I'm going to tie the other end to this pole over yonder. And I gotta tell you, like, bird of paradise is a very easy to care for plant if you're looking for a great big indoor plant to make your home an urban jungle. It's a really stunning, beautiful specimen, and I've had nothing but pure pleasure growing mine over the years. That said, there does come a point where it's like these things are just too massive, and you just kind of have to deal with it. I'm curious to know, though, in the comments below, if you own a bird of paradise, has yours ever flowered indoors? Because that is one thing I have never experienced here living in Denver, Colorado, is having a bird of paradise flower inside my conditions, despite the conditions that I provide for these plants being optimal. Clearly, I mean, given its size, it's a very happy plant. But yeah, I'm curious to know, have you guys ever had yours flower? Because I have heard from some folks here in Colorado who have had theirs flower, and if you've never seen a bird of paradise's flower, it is beautiful. I've seen them in nature when I was in San Diego. I saw them all over the place, and when I was in San Francisco. But yeah, you really understand once you see their flowers why they are called a bird of paradise, because their flower looks exactly like a bird of paradise, have you, given its name. But yeah, these things just get so big, and I'll tell you, like, really easy to care for plant. And what I mean by that is, like, there have been times where I have forgotten to water this plant or my other bird of paradises for a couple of, I would say, 2 weeks or so. And granted, yes, does it look a little bit sad when it doesn't get watered? Of course. I mean, who wouldn't if you were a plant? But I'll tell you what, like, this thing, like, just doesn't really need that much care. It's really super duper easy to care for. This is its latest leaf. Look at how massive that thing is. It is, I would say, probably 3.5, 4 feet long. Isn't that beautiful? But yeah, so now that I have this giant pole around it, I'm going to tie up, I think, this leaf. No, I'll leave that be. I think it'll be fine. I was going to tie it up just to make sure it wasn't like bowing out or something, but I don't have any concern with it. I have no qualms with it, with that leaf. But maybe I'll take this one and put another uh, little piece of twine around it just to make sure it's safe and sturdy. Like I was saying, though, the issue became is that this thing in that corner of my apartment right there. Now, there are some really great grow lights over next to it. You can see one in the distance there. That's a Soltech Solutions grow light, which are my favorite. And there's one over on the other side next to the Bird of Paradise. And all my windows are western facing, but at 22 feet tall, my ceiling, there is skylights up above on the top part, but even with that, this time of year, it's really difficult for these plants to get like super duper really good light, the kind of light that they want in order to thrive. So this thing has been bowing around looking for whatever light that it can possibly find. And so it's been a little bit of an issue trying to make sure that it's happy and healthy and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you do. So, yeah. So, what we're going to do is once this is all tied up, we'll put it back up there. But once summer comes around, even springtime, and the sun starts making its way back over yonder with more bright light towards the west where my windows face, it won't be a problem. But here we are, in winter, and we're dealing with it because that's what we do. Okay, so we got that all good. Just want to trim these loose ends, and just to make sure it's all good and pretty, because it's such a beautiful plant. And normally I would take this opportunity to clean off its leaves, but the fact of the matter is, I've already done that a lot, so I'm not too concerned, you know? Okay, so now that we have it all tied up and all that good stuff, it is time to. Oh man, this is gonna be stressful. I'll put it back up there. Okay, here we go. Here we go, folks. Yay! My back is like, no. Yep. As soon as this is done, I'm gonna take some ibuprofen, a bath, and then call it a night. As soon as I put all these plants back where they need to be, let's make sure it's not gonna hit anything. Okay. We've got this, Kevin. Oh, no, I don't. This starts slamming into other plants. I really just don't want it to hit that Patricia. Okay. Oh my gosh, let me tell you guys. This is the only instance, one of the only instances where it would be great to have somebody else here because these large plants aren't super duper easy when it's just you. But you know what, guys? With you guys watching, really makes it all worth it and easy. Okay, let's figure that out. Now, how did I handle this before? I think this is the big question. Okay. Yeah. He's fine. He'll figure it out. Cool. We've got stability, except for my mental stability, and safe and secure. Yay! Just like we want our plants to be. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my struggles. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell to see more stress-inducing plenty content just like this. I'll see you guys in the next video.